Jump in my 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to Sports with Balls. Here are your hosts, Jeff Michael, Lauren Leal, and Grant Miles.
We're going like this.
What are you throwing gang
What's
signs?
going on, everyone? No, we are not throwing up gang signs.
Yeah,
even
you
though
were.
We're
That's
in
what it looked like.
H-Town.
You were throwing
I
it
think
up?
Jeff was trying to do some gang signs. I was just trying to do a funny, like,
Nope.
whatever that's
Welcome to Sports with Balls. It's 7 o'clock. Here we are.
on the dot. Nah, just
Christian's
a little
Tailgate 5114 Kirby. Over here, Lauren Leal, Grant Miles. Welcome.
Yo.
bit. Yo, welcome in. It's been a nice, breezy fall kind of a day.
Gorgeous.
The weather lately.
Gorgeous.
That's why I'm
It's been gorgeous.
sunburned.
I know you out there hitting them golf balls.
I was.
How'd it look today?
Hey, were you working?
It was
Lauren?
good.
Were you working today?
I was working on this.
Okay.
What?
I was working.
What are you getting at?
I know. Where are you going with this,
Jeff was
Grant?
playing golf. I was just.
Hey,
we're-
man,
we're
look.
working.
I was
Just
networking. Networking.
Oh, yeah?
What'd you get out? What'd you
Oh,
network
yeah?
out
Oh,
of it?
yeah?
What'd you network out
you know,
of it?
a couple of older guys beat them at golf, and they watch the show now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're out there watching us now, thank you.
Yeah, I play with my dad and a couple of his friends. They have a Friday game. It's pretty interesting. But they hit from
Oh,
like
there
two
you go.
tees up, so it's kind of annoying. I got to hit from 2 tees back.
The thing is,
Boy, that's
like,
a humble brag.
No, I mean,
That's a
look,
humble brag.
they're you know,
but that goes to what I was just about to say is that Jeff basically lives on a golf course, so he gets to practice anytime he wants.
I do, but I don't practice that much. You'd be surprised when you live on a golf course how much you don't play that actual golf course.
You weren't on that golf course today? You weren't there today?
No, I didn't play on that one. I played High Meadows Ranch, which is like 40. And I got to play with Johnny tomorrow morning at like 9 o'clock at Wildcat.
You have to?
I do.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Like when he said that, he's like,
we'll
I got
be
to.
working
I have
tomorrow.
to. Yeah.
We'll
I
be
have
working
to.
tomorrow, but you won't be.
Welcome
All
into
right.
Sports with Balls
Yes.
again, y'all. We're over here at Christian's Tailgate on Kirby, 5114 Kirby. I just did a couple of shots of, what was it, Reposado? What was that? Espelette, whatever, some tequila. It was good, though.
Oh.
It was good.
All you tequila
It was
people
great
out
because you don't
there.
remember it.
Head to the bar, mention Sports with Balls, you get a discount. So head up here to Christian's Tailgate and let's jump into today's show.
SWB. All right, 2-minute drill with Lauren Leal, brought to you by Joseph Applewhite and Applewhite Realty. Give him a call, 713-291-5270. You're looking for a place to move here, anywhere, Texas, whatever. This guy's amazing. He'll help you out. I mean, he's already got a couple of the friends that we know he already moved into houses.
For sure. One of my good girlfriends. And that's the first time I think I ever heard you say Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah,
he
that
like
was the
that?
first.
Is it?
Caught me off guard a little
Joseph Applewhite.
Joseph. So serious.
Caught me off guard.
All right, are we ready for these 2-minute drills?
What happened? Keep us up. What happened?
All right, we are starting off with the XFL returning in 2022. The owner of the league, Dwayne Johnson, tweeted out a video with the XFL stating, of course, it'll return in 2022, like I just said. Quoting, I'm in the exciting and humbling position to create opportunities for players so their dreams can come true. It's been an uphill battle, but we're hungry, humble, and no one will outwork us. I'm so excited for some more football in my life.
Good for the Rock.
Yes, good for the Rock. Now, the Steelers, as we all know, the Steelers and Titans game has been moved to multiple COVID positive tests from players and personnel on Tennessee. So that has been moved. It came out today, week 7, October 25th.
I think that means that Pittsburgh plays like 12 or 13 straight games, but coming from Mike Tomlin, he said that no problem. We don't care, no big deal. They moved it, and there were 6 players, 3 staff members, and everybody seems to be fine.
It originally was going to be moved to Monday or Tuesday, so they pushed it way back.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin got time for that.
No. Let's play ball.
Yeah, let's play ball.
Now, our next one, we go to the hoops. We thought that Doc Rivers might have come to the Houston Rockets, but turned out he just signed a 5-year deal with the 76ers. So he's going to Philly. Wish him the best of luck. 13 straight winning seasons. That is the longest active winning streak for a coach. His record is 943 and 681. So good luck in Philly, Doc.
In the regular season, he's fantastic.
Yeah. And that also,
Great.
like, look, obviously I think Rockets fan probably wanted him here. We're at a lack of options now. They're talking about Ty Lue, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, man. Like,
Well, that's the
That's rumor
question.
he's coming
If you're
in.
that's the question, Jeff. If you're Doc Rivers, Are you picking the 76ers job or the Rockets
76ers
job?
all day.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if 76ers stay healthy, they're an incredible basketball team. Incredible. The problem is the last 3 years, they just are an unhealthy basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
The
know
Rockets
if I'd
are
want
a
to go.
mess, bro.
I don't know if I'd want to go up there and deal with that drama, though. It really depends on what they
trust
do
the
with Ben
process.
Simmons. It really depends on what they do with Embiid and Simmons if
Yep.
they decide to keep him or not.
Well, I
Trust
mean,
the process.
He
We'll-
obviously
we'll
thought
see.
it was a better fit than coming and coaching his son. So,
Well, I wonder if he even thought about it. Like,
Yeah.
if he even considered that, or if he just went there and was like, "This is it, and I'm done."
yeah, who knows?
It'd be funny if he did come here and his son teed him up again. And then
Oh.
we move on to, we
be
stick
great.
with the NBA, but we move on to what's happening right now is the NBA Finals. It's crazy to think that it's happening
Yay.
because we have MLB playoffs, and of course we have NFL. But yeah, so last night the Lakers crushed the Heat in Game 1 of the Finals, taking the victory 116-98. Anthony Davis put up 34 points. Lakers came back after a 13-point deficit in the first quarter. They never looked back after that. And then LA led Miami by 32 points in the third quarter. So it was pretty heated for the Lakers, not Miami. Get it, guys?
Oh wow, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you credit for it. I'm not gonna laugh at it, but I'll give you credit for it. Though.
So the Heat actually, 2 of their players got injured last night and will be out tonight. So we got to wish Miami extra luck going to Game 2 beginning at 8 p.m. And lastly, this is huge news, especially if you're here in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
Or if playoffs and talk about the standings after we've had this wild card series, but that'll do it. I just ending it with AJ Hinch and Alex Cora being interviewed by Detroit just kind of blows my mind. I honestly thought that he might be coming back to the Astros after this season, but Dusty Baker signed that extension.
I mean, I understand why you're saying I can't believe why that. But hey, whatever you want to say about them, they both have won a World Series. Whether you want to give it to them or not, they both won a World Series. So those are two winning coaches. Whether it's cheating or not, I mean, they still won. So of course, I think somebody would be interested in at least interviewing them. They're not guaranteed a job though.
He says he can now.
They're
Are we
not
having
going to give
some? Are we
it to
having
them.
some audio issues right now?
We were, but we're back.
We're
We
back.
are back. All right. Now, shall we go to the postseason?
Let's do
of
it.
The MLB. So right now we still have running. We just touched on the Astros. They'll be facing the A's on Monday in the ALDS, and so is Tampa Bay and the Yankees. The Rays looking hot. And now
So
we
are
have,
the Yankees.
Yeah, I know.
I know. They're healthy and they look good too. That series, those are two teams that hate each other as well. Like, I mean, that's going to I think both these series, Tampa Bay, New York, Houston, Oakland, are going to be fantastic. These are going to be interesting. It's going to be filled with drama. There might be some fights. I mean, this is going to be fun. None of the shenanigans that are going on in St. Louis and San Diego. You flip a bat in that Houston-Oakland series, somebody's going to beam you.
And in the National Series, we have the Dodgers. They're still waiting to see who San Diego, St. Louis, if they will play either one of them in the NLDS. And on the other side of that is the Marlins versus the Braves. So we start back here in Houston, Texas, where we just mentioned the Astros won the 3-game series 2-0 over the Twins, and they are heading into they'll play Oakland on Monday. Now McCullers is supposed to get the start on Monday as well, and you literally mentioned you were going to pull the words right out of my mouth. The biggest threat going up against the Oakland A's, Mike Fiers. Is that who the Astros are really worried about?
No, they're not worried about Fiers. In fact,
The whistleblower.
They're praying that Fiers pitches. I mean, we tee off against that guy, so I'm hoping that he pitches.
That's what I would be curious to see, is the emotion part of that, because the emotion plays a role in
for
sports,
that
most
one?
definitely,
Especially baseball.
and especially baseball. And you just wonder who's going to be more so jacked up over that game that it's going to kind of overwhelm them a little bit. Will it be Fiers? Will it be the Astros? Like, I know they're itching to get to him, but sometimes that can go against you. If you're so into, man, let's get this guy, let's show him up. I mean, you know, he could get after him.
They're professionals, and I don't see them, getting, too fired up. Emotions will play a part, but I mean, like I said, they know the guy. You look at the history of the Astros versus Fiers, they have literally wiped him up, man. I mean, they clean house against him. Something like a 9 ERA, or maybe more. I'm hoping they face him. And look, Oakland, we played them 4 or 5 times during this shortened season, and they didn't pitch him. On purpose, they kind of held him back. So I'm interested to see. They're not going to be able to hold him back the entire.
Chris Bassett. And who I will say too is from the Astros. They won in 2 games. Oakland had to go to game 3 with the White Sox, which the Astros were hoping they were facing the White Sox. But that means they have one less day of rest. Does this mean anything though?
No, because we're not playing until Monday, and the series is in LA. I think it's at Dodger Stadium. It's not in Oakland. And ironically enough, there's going to be playoff games here in Houston, which is really strange. But whatever. In this strange baseball season, just keep it going. Mark says, did you hear any trash cans banging? I did not hear any trash cans banging, which is good news. I mean, look, I'd be surprised if they don't break out a trash can if they beat Oakland and just start banging it like after they win the series. I don't know. If I had to pick on this series, it's going to be a close one.
Wait, who is they? You think?
The Astros.
The Astros?
Oh, it'd be hysterical if they just start banging a trash can in the
I'm gonna
dugout.
get a trash can and just bang it in front of your face.
What?
That would be nice.
All right.
I want to see that.
Rude.
But no, I don't think any rest really plays a part, especially in a season like this. I mean, it's not like they've played 162 games; they've played 60.
No.
So, I mean, are they really worn out to a point where, like, man, we need rest, or I mean, they're kind of used to how the schedule's been going this year.
It's an awkward baseball season, so just go along with it. I think the Astros will take Oakland, and I picked them to go to the ALCS, which they've done 3 years in a row, and I hope they do it 4. And maybe we'll play the Yankees again, which would be extremely interesting.
Do we still remember our baseball predictions? I remember mine.
I said the Astros.
I said Yankees.
I said
and
Astros, Dodgers.
I think we said Astros, Dodgers, right?
I said Astros, Dodgers.
I think I did too.
You said
Yankees, Dodgers. Dodgers win it all.
There we go. There we go.
So we're still on track for that.
And
Johnny
speaking of the Dodgers, I mean, they swept the Brewers in their games as well. Kershaw with 13 strikeouts, 8 innings pitched. Woo! I believe he had 5 hits, 0 earned runs. So they were looking really hot as well.
Lucky.
I think that's one of his best games he's pitched in the playoffs.
Kershaw?
Yes.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't like on national television because the game started at 9 p.m. Anywhere else. 10 p.m. New York time, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see this. Like, if the Astros go against the Dodgers, like, this is going to be a 2017 matchup once again.
No, I'm
the Astros
stoked.
have
Let's
just
don't-
about the same team.
Let's don't count our
Cubs,
chickens before they
I
hatch.
know,
Like,
I
know it.
Let's
I
take this.
know it.
Let's just take
Sorry,
this.
Cubs fans. Cubs lost to the Marlins. The Marlins won 2 games in a row. Ouch, that hurts for Cubbies fans.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
We have a
does.
couple of
Cubbies.
those.
Well,
couple of
like I
friends.
told you, my boy, he told me. He said, "Man, I'm just glad I didn't have to deal with 162 games of this garbage."
Mark said, imagine if we had Verlander. Yeah, I know. He just said, speaking of Verlander, had Tommy John yesterday. Tommy John, successful Tommy John surgery. We will miss him the last year of his contract with the Astros. He won't be pitching next year. So 2022 is the first time you'll see Verlander, and not sure if he'll be in an Astros uniform.
And July 24th, 2020 is probably the last time we will ever see him in an Astros uniform,
Yes.
Yep.
unfortunately.
Yep.
But real quick, I don't know. I want to go back to this Marlins thing. I don't know if
Okay.
y'all saw that because Jeff we had done that post about Miguel Cabrera
Oh, yeah.
on the Marlins. So I looked it up. The Marlins in their franchise history, since they started in '93, have been to the playoffs. Now, since this year, it'll be 3 times. The first 2 times they've been to the playoffs, each time it ended in a World Series win. So they've been to the playoffs twice in their franchise history and won World Series both times.
Huh? Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Wow.
So, I mean, hey, who's
Wow.
to say the Marlins can't win it this time? I mean, that's all they do
That's
is win
true.
World
That's
Series.
all they do
Remember, like
when
we
they
said,
get there.
Yes, when they get in
like
the
we
playoffs.
said, it's open, man. It really is. This playoff race is wide open. Anybody can win.
And they hadn't made it to the
No, it's been a while. I mean, since '03, they haven't made it since
Yeah.
'03. But
That's
that
nuts.
that would be a question I'd have for you, Jeff. Would you rather your team be like that or be like the Astros? Go to the playoffs a lot, lose, win World Series, or would you rather them go twice and win 2 World Series?
I mean, I went through the 3 in a row 100 loss seasons with the Astros. I was miserable. I would rather be like the Astros. Not the Marlins have been absolutely just. They're lucky when they make it this far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's like the Mariners were sneaking up on us this year, sneaking up on the Astros this
the
year.
Astros are going to be good for a long time. We'll get into that in more baseball. Another day. We've got a lot going on this afternoon, and we can sit here and talk about Astros all day long if you want to.
Hey,
sure
you can
you
come
will.
up here and join us too. You can come up here and join us at Christian's Tailgate off of Kirby. Go to the bar, mention Sports with Balls, and you get a discount. So I think we got some. That's right. That's Johnny J back there on the 1s and 2s. We got some people to thank in order.
Yes.
That makes the show possible.
Roy just popped on too.
Oh, perfect time, Roy. This
job,
is just
Roy.
for you, my man. So Hybrid Technologies Group, you want to reach out to them. You can count on them for reliable service, whether it's phone, cable services, surveillance cameras, and cloud services. They got you covered. Give them a call at 832-336-1201. Call Roy Stanton. That is Hybrid Technologies Group's. Mention
man.
Sports with Balls, and you'll get a deal there, too.
My turn.
Yeah, Mark. hey, Mark's on too, so make sure you
You
nail
get-
this one.
Oh, Mark's on.
Mark
Okay.
is
What's up, Mark?
watching.
I got
This
you,
is
brother.
special.
I got you, brother.
It always is.
Is this one too?
Yeah.
This is a legit. I love this.
Everybody loved you in that hat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get fan mail
You
for?
took that. You took that
Leo?
picture, and I just
Golly.
likes and all kinds of stuff.
When I posted
Thank
that
you,
picture of
Mark.
her.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Mark.
That's right.
So
All right,
we-
let's get it going.
All right, my
Who
bad.
you
We
got?
want to thank Mark and the guys at Construction Concepts. They are changing corporate culture one design at a time. From hospitality, corporate, luxury, retail, and medical facilities, their team of experts, like Mark, can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations. Give them a call at 713-589-2682, or that's buildithouston.com.
That's how he does it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love it every time.
Mark.
Good dude. He's actually he's the one writing. He said, "Sorry, Thomas, about the Cubs. Lauren is much better than
Cubs
you,
are
Jeff."
used to it, though.
Roy said Lauren is much better. I know she is. Look, I mean,
Much better at what? What are we talking about here?
doing the advertisements, but look,
Talking.
like,
Just
Oh.
talking. Much better just talking.
in general.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Whatever.
you. Love y'all out there.
Y'all can
These are my guys.
sports with balls. I wish I could curse right now.
You can.
My
Nobody cares.
sweaty balls.
Nobody
Should we
cares.
get into some football?
Do it. Do it.
Let's
All
do it.
right. So last night, the Thursday night game, 37-28 Broncos. Was not expecting that high of a score, but was not expecting that game in general. So the Jets are 0-4 now for their second consecutive season. They blew their fourth quarter lead with 11 penalties, and 6 of them were personal fouls.
Dude.
I saw it.
This
I
is
watched
So
part of
should
that
this-
game. I
should
watched
this be-
most of the second half.
This
Should
might be the worst football team I've witnessed in a very long time.
Ever.
man. Like, this
They're
is a
terrible.
really, really bad football team.
And where does it start from, though? Where does it start from? Does it start from the head coach and down? Does it start from the organization and the owner and
Look,
down?
like
It's the culture.
I mean, it's the coach. Look, you can have a great quarterback, and he's going to make some plays for you. He's got to be coachable, and the coach he doesn't have a hold of that team, like, at all. There's no drive to win. There's nothing. I mean, this spectacular play was a 48-yard QB, run.
Yes.
And
Sam
everything
Darnold.
else was just like, I mean, it was so awkward. It was just an awkward game. Like, it really was. Some of the plays were just really. What's his name? What was the quarterback's name for Denver last night? Won his first game.
Rippon.
Rippon.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name.
Rippon.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Rippon?
He's a nephew of Mark Rippon,
That's
who
what I
won the
thought.
Super Bowl
Yeah,
for the Washington Redskins.
Redskins.
Do
Yeah.
you think this is the last straw for Adam Gase?
I don't know why he's still coaching, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
As far as the head coach, after what I saw last night, and they start off 0-4. I mean, the only thing that they have positives to take out of that game is that they're in the lead for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's really what it comes down
That's my
to.
next point. It was that, if you're not sticking with Sam Darnold, listen, he's an incredible quarterback, but if you go down the list of playoff quarterbacks and these huge, like USC, the top 5 teams, none of them are in the playoffs. I think only one quarterback has
Right.
made it, from a Power 5 conference over the
Correct.
last few years, and these number 1 picks that come out.
Yeah.
It's all from second round picks or later round picks. The quarterbacks that are coachable.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily Sam Darnold's fault. It's Sam Gase is a terrible head coach, man.
Well,
As far as I'm seeing, he can't even get his quarterback in the right situation sometimes, man. It's just the guy's he's throwing into double coverage. His offensive line is just absolute crap. He's missing guys by 5 or 10 yards sometimes, man. And it's and he's missing reads. They showed one play last night where there's a slant wide open. They showed it 4 or 5 times, and he just never saw him. He's right in front of his face. And that's just bad. The coach should give you easy plays.
Well, I think Adam Gase, number one, I think he lost his offseason, the way that he handled the Jamal Adams situation. I don't understand how, if you're Adam Gase and your best player on your football team is Jamal Adams, you do as much as you can to isolate that guy and make him feel like you don't want him on the team. I don't know why you would do that, and especially a guy that's a leader of a team like Jamal Adams is.
Yep.
That's who the rest of your guys are going to and look at. And even the Jets were bad last year, but they were still competitive. They're just not even competitive this
It's
year.
bad.
Now we're looking at the 0-4 Jets, but mind you, that last night was the first game the Broncos won. They're 1-3 now. So should we really be paying attention to the Jets and how bad they are, or are we actually is this
No, the Broncos
good
have
news that the
talent.
Broncos did this?
Broncos have talent. They've got a
Philip
decent head
Lindsay's been
coach.
out, and I know that.
Their
has been a
defense
huge
is
thing.
not half bad.
No, their defense is not bad.
Yeah,
they
they
just
have
had a lot of
players.
injuries.
But is
Sutton's
this-
out.
is-
You've got Drew Lock out. You've got Von Miller's not
Von
playing
Miller,
this year.
yeah, I mean,
they've got some major
that's a
guys that
decent
aren't
team.
playing.
So should we pay attention to this team because of last night's win, or no?
No.
Because like I said,
No,
going back to 1-3
Yeah,
was their
yeah.
first game that they won.
No, I think Denver. I don't think Denver is going to be that competitive this year. I do think they're going to play hard. I think Vic Fangio. I think he's really smart when it comes to defense.
Yeah.
That guy's got him playing hard, and that's what you want to see. But man, when you've got, like you said, as many personal foul penalties as the Jets had, that's just. I mean, that's not focus. That's not. That's
sloppy.
coaching.
That's
just coaching.
Yeah, they
it comes down
they
to
don't
coaching
respect
100%.
their coach. They don't. I mean, it's just sad to watch that team. Sam
is.
Darnold's
It really is.
Sam Darnold's out there, man. He's just running around like a chicken with his head cut off, man. It's just it's wild, and he's just chunking balls. Like there's
Yeah.
turnovers, there's personal fouls. It's everything. And you're like, it looks like a college team out there playing against a pro team
And it makes you think about.
and a bad college team,
And it makes you think, right? And it makes you
not
think.
like Alabama or something.
It makes you think how sometimes it really depends on where you're drafted. You know what I mean? Like Sam Darnold. What if Sam Darnold had been drafted by somebody like Andy Reid? I'm not saying he would have been Patrick Mahomes, but who knows if he had good coaching, good offensive philosophy,
Yeah,
good players
no,
around him.
and that's what I'm saying.
Who
yeah.
knows what kind of
Good
player
coaching,
he'd
What
be.
kind of
Sam
player he
Darnold.
would be,
Correct.
for sure.
He can win a few games for you, but if you got a player out there with bad offensive line, bad running, bad blocking, bad route running by receivers, and no-name receivers, guys that are just coming off the plane, they're picking up at the airport, like literally picked up a wide receiver at the airport.
Yes.
Started like, you don't have a chance.
And speaking of talented quarterbacks with not talented players around them, we've talked about it right here in town, is Deshaun Watson. And earlier this week, Earl Thomas visited the Texans thinking, he may be a good fit for the team. Nope, not at all. We already knew he's cancerous in the locker room, but he's not a good fit on the field. That's what Coach O'Brien said. But we look to this game on Sunday, Texans versus Vikings, and hard to come back after 0-3. What are our thoughts so far on this game?
I've ran out of conversation about this.
Yeah.
It's every single week, and then until they do something better, you can go back and listen to our show last Friday, or the show Friday before that, or the show Friday before that, or the Monday before that. It's all the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and according to what I read, O'Brien had said, I guess he tried to make it sound like it was a joint decision for everybody, but they were supposedly bringing people in for tryouts, and because of COVID situation, they decided not to let anybody come visit. So maybe that was his way of kind of bringing down the heat as far as what happened with Earl Thomas. But, man, I tell you what, you talk about a guy that's dropped very quickly in his standing in the league is Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas,
when he got
a season ago, was like one of the what people thought of one of the best safeties in the league.
When he got let go 3-4 weeks ago, people were like, well, number one, got to pick him up.
Yeah.
And now he's gone through every team and can't get on anywhere. I don't know if it's maybe he wants too much money or he I don't know. But at least that would have got Texans fans a little excited.
I just wonder if inside the league, if people are talking to one another, and there's a lot more that happened in that locker room
Yep.
then they're letting people know.
And he had punched his fellow roommate back in 2010. I know it
Correct.
was a while ago, but still, that stays with you. And who knows what other locker room issues he's had.
And then he had those shenanigans with his wife.
E.T. phone home.
He had those shenanigans with his wife, who wasn't too happy with his extracurricular activities, and
Did you do it? Did you do the ET phone?
No, I didn't.
What
E.T. phone. What's his name?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're
I
talking
know.
about.
What's
you're
the
talking
kid's
about-
His
name?
name is E.T.
No, the kid's name.
Man, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. It's been
Elliot.
long. Oh, Elliot. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, that's your man. How did you not know that?
Elliot, what are you talking about?
Zeke.
Oh
Cowboys.
my God! Like I'm supposed to know that. I'm like, oh yeah, Elliot.
That
yeah,
only
I
took
remember. Makes sense.
29 minutes into the show, and we got a
And it
Cowboys.
wasn't me. And it wasn't me. It was
Hey,
her.
look! But what a
I
good
know,
lead in to the next one. You want to go just do that one?
Sure, we can go straight down to it. We got the Browns coming to Dallas playing the Cowboys. The Browns, oh my gosh, have a better record than the Cowboys. 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
I know.
Cowboys 1-2.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting-ish.
Yeah, I don't know. These are the kind of games that make me nervous with the Cowboys. Well, number one, the Cowboys have made me nervous all season. But these kind of games like this, especially when they're favored at home. I can't tell you how many times I've watched games where they've been favored at home. Washington, any team that you don't think is going to come in there and win, they come in there and win. So.
They are favored at home, though.
Yeah, minus
And-
4.5. Yes.
And
Which is that?
I will
Like we always say, 3 points you're supposed to get at home. So they're really calling this game at 1.5.
Well, they're using 4.5 a lot this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever remember seeing it 4.5. I know the Browns have a lot of guys that are questionable. I know they've got Kareem Hunt that's questionable. They've got a couple guys that are out. Greedy Williams is out for the Browns. They've just got Trayvon Diggs and Tyrone Smith right now for the Cowboys that are questionable. So, but I'll be interested to see how. I thought about what you said, Jeff, when I kind of got on you about the junkyard situation.
Yeah, the junk yardage.
The way I look at that, I don't look at it as junkyards as much as I do. I do agree with you, though. What I call them is empty yards. And
right.
those are yards to me. He's leading the league in passing.
Yeah.
And it's accomplished nothing for the Cowboys. 0. Last week, when they played the Seahawks, he had almost double of what Russell Wilson had. And Russell Wilson won the game. So I'm just wanting to see some kind of balance from the Cowboys. I'm wanting to see them not rely, because when they rely on Dak, they don't win. They just don't. They're not very good.
We got to play as a team in general.
Show me the money.
Well, they just have to balance. They just have to balance. They have to balance the run and the pass. Defense has to play a lot better than they're playing. it'll be interesting to see, but it definitely makes me nervous.
Yeah, the Cowboys. The thing is, though, with the Cowboys, they've only lost by 7 points or less this season. And the last time that the Browns won in Dallas was 1994.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that gets turned around.
I mean,
I'm still waiting to see how McCarthy's turning around this culture.
Yeah.
It's still building.
I'm anxious to see what Jeff says.
waiting on me for this one.
At band camp?
Look, I'm actually taking Dallas minus the 4.5. I know this is Baker Mayfield's homecoming, basically.
Yes.
He grew up in the Austin area,
Yeah,
right?
Austin.
In Austin. He's got a bunch of family and friends that are going to be at this game. Dallas's defense is no good. I'll just be honest with you.
They're not.
Their defense is really bad, and they got
They're not.
exposed almost every game that they've played. In fact, you saw without him punching the ball out at the 2-yard line, that would have been another bomb touchdown pass
Yes.
by Russell Wilson.
Yes.
But Baker, I see this as if you have Dak Prescott on your fantasy team, this is a hell of a week for you. 'Cause
Yes.
I see this as a high-flying game. Like
Yes.
this is going to be a 28-47 game, maybe 30s to 40s. Because Baker's going to come out now. Look, Baker Mayfield, there's a stat out there. If he throws the ball 27 or more times, they lose every time. When he throws the ball 27 or less times, they win, which means they're turned into a running team. And remember I said like a couple weeks ago, Baker trying to figure out who he is. What kind of quarterback is he? Is he the Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers? Is he that guy, or is he the run and the Tom Brady-ish? Run the ball, throw these little flat routes. And I know he wants to throw the ball a lot, but if they run the ball, the Browns have a chance in almost every game.
The Cowboys, and for me, I kind of hope that they do a little bit, because the Cowboys right now are dominant against the run. It's the pass that they suck at. The Cowboys, here's how off balance they are. The Cowboys are ranked 8th in the league in offense as far as points per game. They're 29th in the league in defense and allowing points per game.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, that's way out of whack. That's way out of balance. They're first in total yards, first in passing yards. I mean, it's all these different things. But you've got Cleveland that's third in rushing yards. So you've got a Dallas defense that's really good against the run, a Cleveland team offensively that's really good running the football. That's what will be the difference here, and interesting to find out and see. And if they don't get pass happy, like you said, Jeff, with Baker, and do a lot of running, a lot of pass, a lot of
Screen passes?
a lot of screen passes, a lot of play action is what I was trying to say. Play action. I think they can be successful doing that, because Dallas right now, defending the football is not good.
Well, we already know it's going to be in the hands of Chubb. He's going to get it done for the Browns.
Chubb and Hunt. Now, Hunt, like you said, he's questionable, so we'll see. But, yeah, they're going to run the football.
I am taking Dallas minus the 4.5.
I'm taking Dallas minus 4.5 too. And the reason I am is just because the way that Cleveland is successful running the football, Dallas is just as successful up to this point of stopping it. So that's where that's where I'm going to go with there. And I think Dallas is ready to kind of blow the roof off of
Yeah, I think they'll score 48.
Shall we head to Las Vegas?
Let's do it.
All right.
Like
so
physically? Because I'm down.
I'm ready.
I'm
Let's
down
go.
for
I'm ready to
Vegas.
do the
Gambling.
fountains.
I am down
Book
for
the
Vegas.
flights, Johnny. Book the flights. We're out. Going to
He
Vegas.
says flights. I say the fountains. You say gambling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm
different
not
is
going
that?
on a road trip with Grant. That ain't happening, dude. I'm not
Yeah,
like.
you just said that he
Greatest
was
road
gonna,
trip. Yeah, I
you
know.
to
He's
sleep.
hating on my road trip
Like,
stuff. I don't know what
what
that's
the
all
heck?
But I
about.
just feel like your music selection would drive me up the wall, man.
You don't even know what I listen to.
Everything that Lauren sings during our production meeting, you're like, what the hell is that? Which I think is pretty good music sometimes. And you'd be like, I think we'd listen to like a couple of Waylon Jennings songs and I'd be tired of it, man. I'm over it.
Wait,
Waylon Jennings.
I can't.
Wow. I don't even know what you're talking about
I like
right now.
Waylon Jennings, but
Well, I like
know
Waylon
you
Jennings
listen-
too, but I don't jam it out all the
But
time.
you listen to like the beachy reggae stuff
Yeah,
a lot,
I like that
right?
stuff a lot.
I
Yeah,
like that too.
absolutely.
I like that too.
Well, maybe we'll rent an RV. We'll all three get in. We'll have a camera ready and we'll videotape our road trip to Vegas.
Johnny J, you hear that? Niku's going to be on the audio back there too.
Yeah, shit. We'll have that portable. Yeah, we'll just videotape from the road. That would be actually all right.
Who wants to see that?
Thinking
That'd be
ahead.
All right.
fantastic.
Thinking ahead. That'd be
I like
All
awesome.
right. So we're just gonna head to Vegas right now virtually. So the Bills are going to play the Raiders on Sunday, and the Bills. It's weird to say they are 3-0, Raiders 2-1. But then again, you look at who their competitors were. Last week they played the Rams. The week prior, I believe they played Dolphins. And then in week 1, they had played the Jets. The Jets. So that's why they're 3-0. However, they are favored. Ravens, though, Raiders are at home. So
No fans at this game.
Yeah.
And exactly to your point, who they played previous to this, in that Rams game, they got extremely lucky with that last second pass interference
Yes.
call, or they should have lost that game.
Yeah.
Rams had that game over, they should have lost it. And prior to that game, they played, like you said, the Dolphins and Jets. No wonder Josh Allen has all these stats. Anyway, it's like, you start any quarterback, if you have fantasy, you start any quarterback playing the Jets. It's just,
Yes.
So Josh Allen's racked up a bunch of yards. And yeah, they're 3-0, but them being favored in this game, no, sorry. I actually love the Raiders in this game because I think Josh Jacobs is the real deal. Like, that guy is flat out amazing. So I think the Raiders win this game, man. I do.
It doesn't make for good radio or visual whenever we're agreeing with each other. But I'd have to go with you on the +3 on taking the Raiders with the points at home. First off, the way the Raiders look playing the Saints at home, they blitzkrieg and destroyed the Saints. They were all over the place. So that's number one. Number two, yes, I think the Bills are a great team, but I think strength of schedule does play an influence here.
Me too.
And they played a really good Rams team that had gone. I think the Rams had gone East Coast twice in 2 weeks. They played. I can't remember who they played the Giants, I think, and then went back home to L.A. and then went back to Buffalo. So that's a big time trip. And they beat them, like you said, by that pass interference call. But the Raiders are going to have some guys questionable, some guys out, but nobody that's going to make a significant impact. They don't know about Henry Ruggs. He's doubtful, wide receiver, but he hasn't made a huge impact yet this year. I just see the Raiders coming out. If they play like they did at home against the Saints, I think the Raiders are a good team. I think the Raiders are a good team.
I think Carr's really coming out this year. Now, you mentioned something about Josh Allen and him actually having all of these points because of who they've played. Mark just said Dak has been crushing it on fantasy points for me.
He has.
But he hasn't for me.
Yeah, he has.
Not too much.
He's been killing it. As far as I could see.
How's he not been?
Yeah.
What is that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
He's been, he's got a ton of
the
points
people
fantasy.
who I
right?
have around him maybe are not
Yeah.
elevating.
What's your fantasy football record?
We're just not going to talk about it. We're just not going to go there.
Yeah, hey, you got graded A+.
Yeah, you
as far
got
as your
A+,
draft, how's
like
that
at the
A+
top.
draft handled for you? How is it?
Aren't you in second place?
I'm 2-1, yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
Watch
2-1.
out.
Okay.
I was
so you're the Browns
4
record.
points from being 3-0.
You're the Browns record?
All right.
What are you?
All right.
Don't worry about it.
The Jets record.
The Jets
The Jets record. No, I'm not
You got to change your
0-4.
name. You got to change your team name to the Jets.
Yes,
if you
that'd
go
be
0-4 or
fantastic.
whatever.
That'd be
Hey,
fantastic.
if I got to change my name to the Jets, you got to take me on a jet.
No, I don't have a mustache, so.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
don't
limited
think
space
it
for that. Yeah.
Not doing that.
That's your ticket on.
Next.
Next, let's go over to Kansas City. The Patriots take on the Chiefs. Pats are 2-1. Chiefs are 3-0. This Kansas City Chiefs team, man, they never disappoint me. They never let me down. Determining factor, I believe, for this is the Patriots, how strong their defense is going to be going up against the O-line of the Chiefs. That's what I.
Bill Belichick's strength always is taking away the strengthness of the other team.
Yes.
Now, that being said, it's very hard to take away a strength of the Patriots. They're good in the Chiefs, in every single area. They're fantastic. I don't know if he's going to try to take away the run game and make Mahomes beat him, if he's going to try to force Mahomes to run. I don't know what he's going to do in this. I really don't.
And if he does force Mahomes to run, he will run.
Yeah, and
he's good at it.
Just a random note on this: the Chiefs are going to have 17 to 20,000 fans in the stands.
Yeah.
And I think this will be the first actual home field advantage for any NFL team. You have 17 to 20,000 fans, especially at Arrowhead, and they're going to be loud.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear some fans on that, which is going to be great. I'm excited to see it. I understand Cam Newton and what they're trying to do right now. Yes, they do look impressive, early on. This is the Chiefs, man, and right now I don't see them being beat. They're phenomenal in every aspect of the game.
I feel like the
And
Patriots
healthy.
are still trying to find their groove. I feel like they're doing good with what they have, but they're still, tightening those notches and finding out the routes and who has the best targets and everything like that. So
Look what the Chiefs did to Baltimore.
it's funny that you mentioned that because it seems that Lamar Jackson, we know how dominating he can be both in the pass and run game, but he just seems to choke when it comes
Yeah,
to
that's-
actual contenders.
He's gonna have to win a playoff game or two, or get to the Super Bowl probably.
Exactly. So
Well,
the,
sports is so much of sports is mental, and part of that, you kind of have a team has your number. I mean, that just happens sometimes in sports. Like you just struggle with a certain team, and for whatever reason, Lamar Jackson struggles with the Chiefs. I'm excited to watch the game. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see because it's almost kind of a given when you have Belichick and Brady. You just kind of make the assumption that they're going to win the game just because no matter who they're playing. But now you take one of them out and you just got Belichick. I've learned, well, you didn't answer, Jeff. You got Chiefs -7 at home against
Chiefs.
the Patriots.
Chiefs.
Okay. So I have gone against.
oh, it's it's 7.
Yeah, it's Chiefs
Okay.
-7. I have gone against Bill and the Patriots to my peril very often, kind of doubting, okay, well, you got Tom Brady, you got the Chiefs, whatever. You're right. The Chiefs are not huge as far as their injury news right now. The biggest thing they've got Chris Jones, their defensive tackle, who's questionable, last report I saw, they think he's not going to play, which that helps the Patriots because the Patriots, one of the things they like to do is run the football. So if you don't have Chris Jones out there, I just trust Bill Belichick and his game plan and how he does things to the point where I think
You're taking 7
I'm
points.
taking the pay. I cannot.
Ooh.
I cannot say
gonna mark that down.
But I wrote it down, so you don't have to.
All I have to say, go ahead.
By the
Yeah,
way,
go ahead, Jeff.
Sunday morning, you'll see me and Grant's picks for every single game on Sports with Balls on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and iVoxNews.com. They'll be on there as well.
And I will be calling out whoever loses.
Probably. Well, you'd have called out Grant last week. Grant had a bad week.
Well,
Don't-
you didn't have to. I
What
called
were
it
you about
out.
to say about the Patriots?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna go Patriots +7 just because I just trust Bill Belichick.
I was going to say, don't get too excited if the Patriots jump out and do have a huge lead. Because
Oh no,
the
not
Chiefs
at all. No,
know
that
how
game
to
will
come
not.
back.
That game will not be over till it's 0-0. Like that game, as far as on the clock.
On the clock.
And the only other thing I'll say too, Bill Belichick 6-3 in their time as far as Andy Reid and Belichick going against each other.
Yeah.
6-3.
That's a hell of a head coaching matchup.
Yes,
For sure.
That's
And
a hell of a head coaching matchup.
We'll see what happens. That there's not a ton of intriguing games this week. That's one of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games that are just not that fun to watch.
They're just
And,
games.
When the NFL comes out with a schedule, they didn't know that certain teams would be 0-3.
Yeah.
That certain teams would be 1-2. But this is definitely one of the more intriguing games of the week for sure.
There's some college games that are intriguing too. Did y'all want to get into those a little bit?
Well, we got one more. Colts and Bears.
Are we okay?
All right, real quick.
All right,
Colts.
real quick.
I'm taking Colts -3 because I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL. I know that sounds weird. They have the top 5 in all major categories in defense. I think this is a real interesting matchup because Nick Foles is starting for the Bears, and the Bears are 3-0, but they're a squeaky 3-0, man. So I'm taking the Colts -3. I think they're a great team.
And I'm taking the Bears. I'm going against you.
Double.
I'm excited to see Nick Foles back out on that field
We'll
see
see.
what he can do. Like you said, it's kind of hard to put all your eggs in one basket whenever you do bet on the Bears in general, but I'm going for it this week. They're at home.
I've got the Bears +2.5. I'm going to take the Bears with the points too. And
Oh, man.
I just one of the things you got to look at. You've got a comparison as far as offensive numbers go, where the Chicago Bears are ranked 20th as far as points scored per game, but I bet they scored more in a short amount of time with Nick Foles than they had in games. I just think Nick Foles makes a huge difference. I think a good quarterback especially will pump up your defense. I think your defense will be more on point. They have a little bit more confidence in their quarterback. I think it resonates throughout the whole team, having a guy that can score like that. So I think the Colts are good, no doubt, but I think the Bears will get them this time. I think Bears will be pumped up.
Real quick, right before we get off NFL, I heard breaking news before we got on earlier. The Washington Redskins have benched.
The Washington team.
The Washington football team have
Yeah.
benched, what's his name, the rookie quarterback. Haskins. Alex Smith may start Sunday's game.
Okay.
And after that
I can't
devastating
believe that,
leg
dude.
injury.
That's amazing.
Now, UT Longhorn, what's his name is back? Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, yeah.
Is, I didn't think Alex Smith would ever play football again after watching that.
No, I didn't either.
I would be shocked if he plays. But so, Washington football team. It's either going to be Colt McCoy or Alex Smith. Be very interesting if Alex Smith starts that game on Sunday.
Speaking of QB starters, we also got Justin Herbert is going again for the Chargers, as we know of Tyrod Taylor and his injuries. Now, shall we get to some maybe UT football?
I'm
Going
down
up
for college
against
football.
TCU?
Absolutely, yeah.
Going in, just
You're
a
coming
second
into
before
Grant's
we get
wheelhouse.
before we get into your history segment.
Yeah,
So UT is taking on TCU.
at home.
A&M is taking on Alabama.
Yes.
Which
That-
one's going to be more
That's
exciting?
the big game. A&M, Alabama. I'm not an Aggie fan at all because I love
No.
UT, but that game's going to be interesting. I think it's only a 17-point spread.
Right now, I see Alabama minus 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, if you're going to catch Alabama, catch them early, right?
Yeah.
So that's touchy for me.
No hesitation. Alabama minus 18.
I was just going to say.
I'm gonna go Alabama. Like I don't know. I just listen. I haven't seen enough college football this year, and especially with A&M. Alabama. You know what you're gonna get out of them.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm gonna get out of Alabama. I mean, out of A&M. So I definitely think that's gonna be interesting to say the least. And this is why A&M joined the SEC. So
So they
go
get
out
their
there.
ass beat.
Yeah, go out there and do it.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, which I'm down
Roll
for.
Tide, roll.
Absolutely. Yeah, correct. Well, and I can tell you this.
Nice.
Aggie fan, I just wonder why Jimbo Fisher keeps going with Kellen Mond. You ask Aggie fans do not like Kellen Mond,
Yeah.
and they want to know why he keeps playing him. For whatever reason, Jimbo Fisher keeps playing Kellen Mond, and he's just not a difference maker. And you have A&M playing in Alabama the way that they took care of Missouri last week. Man, I'm not putting Missouri in A&M's category, but man, I mean, they're not much better.
No.
UT, TCU.
UTT, so they got UT minus 11. Boy, were we way off on Texas
on Tech? Wow.
They had Texas.
Oh my, that
they
was
had Texas,
insane.
They had Texas minus 17 and a half.
That was 63-56?
I can't remember what the final was,
I
but
believe that
I
was the
think it was
final.
Texas minus 17 and a half. And TCU, I don't know a whole lot about right now. I know they're struggling. They're starting a new quarterback, and they're going through that whole process. I know they had a lot of turmoil this offseason.
What's the spread?
Minus 11, Texas minus 11.
I'm taking Texas.
Yeah.
I know it's a rivalry. I know it's in state. I get it, but it's not TCU SMU. You know what I'm saying? It's Texas and TCU, and
Right.
and some people have Texas going top 5 in the into one of the major bowls and competing for a national championship. So I'm going Texas.
Yeah, I'm going to go Texas too. I mean, Texas is 1-1 against the spread. TCU is 1-0 against the spread, but I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, that game happened in Lubbock last week. I just expect a lot more out of Texas this week.
Yeah, defense.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that was about. That was weird. I don't know. Texas just didn't look like they were in it on the defensive end, and hopefully, Chris Ash, their defensive coordinator, they get together and they make a game plan. But I don't think TCU's as talented offensively as Texas Tech is. I mean, because Texas Tech had a returning quarterback. So.
And we'll be looking forward to watching those games. UT's at 11, A&M's at 2:30, and then, of course, we have all of our Sunday games starting at noon, kicking off at noon. But before we go to tomorrow, let's go backwards to your history.
Well, before we get to that, 10 minutes from now, you'll have Game 2 of the NBA Finals. You'll have Dragic out and Abu.
Yeah, those are the
Bam
I don't know how to say his name, but those are the two
Abayu.
Miami Heat
Yeah.
players that will be
They
out.
are out for this game. And
Yes.
I don't know what the spread is, but wow, they almost won by. They were almost up by 40 at one point.
Yeah.
I was talking to Johnny about this before we got started. Generally speaking, there'd be a lack of urgency when you're winning by so much, especially when the other team has those two
Yeah.
players out.
9.5.
9.5? Oh, Lakers all day. Listen, they want to get out of this bubble. Like, they're tired of being in this
Yes.
bubble. There's
Oh,
not
for
going to be.
sure.
There's not going to be. If they can sweep, they're going to sweep. Generally speaking, if you go 2-0, then you go to the other teams. You usually lose one or two games. Kind of come out lackadaisical. I don't see that happening because they want out of this bubble. I think LA comes on and puts a smack.
Did you
down
see the
again.
press conference LeBron James had recently? If you're not a LeBron James fan,
I'm not.
don't watch it
Yeah,
because it'll
I saw-
irritate you.
yeah.
What did he say now?
He basically said, I can do everything on the floor.
Yeah, he's-
Offensively, he was
he's the
basically
vainest
he was
individual.
basically like, I can do everything on the floor, is what he said.
Let's go to history.
Wow.
Let's
Yeah.
go to history before I
Yeah,
get
that's
pissed
where we
off.
take
I mean,
it
I
up.
wake up in
Yeah.
the morning, I piss excellent.
That's basically what he thinks. I mean, that's pretty much what he thinks.
All right, what happened, Grant?
All right, so
go
first
ahead.
we got to thank
Yes.
who? Who do we have to thank?
Voight.
Terrible. You do that on purpose.
Tosin.
You
I
do that
know.
on
I know.
purpose.
Tosin's our man.
Texas AV Productions, they're responsible for this segment. Texas AV Productions is your event partner for all things live production, setup, designing, installation, corporate events, concerts, and touring support. If you mention Sports with Balls, you receive a free consultation plus 10% off your total bill. Call them at 281-241-7520 and check them out online at txavpro.com. Their 20 years of experience will make any event unforgettable.
He's throwing my next divorce. When I get divorced, Tosin's throwing the party. We'll have a big one.
I've never met
All
a
right.
dude who's preparing before he even got married to get divorced. That's awesome. You talk about a person that
Yeah,
prepares.
baby.
Hey, look.
He
man.
gets ready. He prepares.
I'm an optimist. I'm an
Yeah, that's
optimist.
right. Yeah.
Class is half
Hey.
full.
Hey, it's 50%, 50-50.
Listen, maybe Tosin will throw our 100th episode party. This is episode 40 for us, so
40.
you know we got
Awesome. Making moves.
60 more to go.
So today's October 2nd, 2020.
Yes.
So we're going to go back in time. October 2nd, 1921. Did you know that the New York Yankees outfielder Babe Ruth hit his then record 59th home run in a 7-6 win over his former club, Boston Red Sox?
Oh, okay.
The babe.
How much do you think that hurt?
Yeah, right.
I was just about to say that, like, oh,
That-
the
that-
motion.
that
I
had-
mean, how many
had to
years
hurt.
did that hurt? Do the curse of the
Yeah,
Bambino.
yeah. October 2nd, 2004, the Montreal Expos earned their last win in the franchise's history, beating the New York Mets 6-3 at Shea Stadium.
Vladimir Guerrero, man.
The Montreal Expos, of course, became the Washington Senators. I miss the Montreal Expos.
I do too, man.
I miss those
hats.
uniforms, the
dude.
hats. I miss
When
everything.
Pedro Martinez started his career,
Yes.
you know, back in, like I
That
missed the
Montreal
red, white,
Expos
blue.
team was
Had a little- yeah,
stacked.
it was good.
I was just about to say, like, I miss all of these names and these teams, and like,
Lauren's like,
because it made me
who?
think of
Yeah.
no, it makes me think of the XFL
Who, the
coming
Montreal-
in
did
2022.
Montreal?
with,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
all
she
of
doesn't know
those
what we're talking
names.
about.
No.
She's just like, yeah, sure.
There was a team in Montreal, Lauren,
Yeah.
called the Montreal Expos.
Correct.
No way.
October
They were in
2nd,
Montreal.
2001. Did you
Vancouver.
know that the Cubs right fielder Sammy Sosa became the first player in Major League Baseball history to total 60 home runs in 3 seasons? Well, you talk about a dude
That's
that mashed
what he says.
Dude.
Sammy
He's-
Sosa,
yeah.
yeah.
And he's
Come on,
shunned
man.
by Chicago now.
Oh,
Like,
he
not
don't-
even allowed in the park.
No.
He has to apologize for taking steroids. They have a whole list out for him of things that he has to do before he's allowed in the park. It's
Man,
crazy.
That makes me
Nice.
so mad because I mean, you
He
look at-
was the Cubs for a
Oh, he
very
was-
long
Yeah.
time.
He would go out there and run along the
Yeah.
outfield fence and put his hand up, and they cheer for him, and
I mean,
not
you
so
look
much.
at A-Rod, and he did that too. I mean, maybe not to the same extent, but he's welcomed everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he
Face of
hasn't
MLB,
apologized.
commentator.
He hasn't admitted. He hasn't apologized. He still holds his ground, and
Yeah.
that's what they're mad about.
1974. Did you know in 1974, October 2nd, future Baseball Hall of Famer right fielder Hank Aaron hit his final home run as a member of the Atlanta Braves in a 13-0 drubbing of the Cincinnati Reds. That was his 733rd home run.
Wow.
He ended up playing 2 more years, ended up playing with Milwaukee, hitting 22, which gave him his number 755.
Before Bonds.
Yes. October 2nd, this is a little bit local here. October 2nd, 1977, Dusty Baker hit his 30th home run of the season, and he hit it against Astros, J.P. Richard.
30th
Oh, wow.
Of the season.
The Dodgers became the first team in Major League Baseball history to have 4 players hit 30 or more home runs
Damn.
against your Astros.
What year was that?
That was 1977.
Wow.
And then last one, I just
Full
added this
circle.
one just because I thought this was a great baseball one. October 2nd, 2016, veteran broadcaster Vin Scully called his final
Oh, man.
LA Dodger game
Wow.
after a record 67 seasons doing play-by-play for the Dodgers.
Unbelievable, dude.
67
I remember.
seasons,
I
dude.
You know who
remember.
I would like to see retire?
Who?
Joe Buck.
Oh, my God.
Please.
I
Houston
like Joe
fans
Buck,
and Joe
man.
Buck,
No,
man.
I like Joe Buck. I think he calls a great game. He's a little less enthusiastic sometimes than he should be, but he's been through everything.
He's so biased, man. He's so biased.
He's
I
so
mean,
biased how?
He's just networky, okay?
How's he
and that's
biased?
fine. Like,
How's he biased?
He's always biased, especially
You
against
better
the
hope we don't
Astros.
ever meet Joe Buck. 'cause I'm
Example.
going to be like, Joe Buck.
Yeah, Joe Buck. She don't like you.
I'll
Oh my gosh, you're my best
listen,
friend. I love
it's
you.
very easy. Episode 40. Go back, watch it.
That's exactly what you would do. What you just did right there. That's exactly what you would do.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh my gosh, Joe Buck, it's so good to meet you.
Nah,
Yes,
of
that's
course
what
I
you
would be
do.
nice.
I
I'm
don't
sure
mind
he's a
him at
nice
all.
guy.
And then, too, I got to say 2 birthdays today. 1942, Steve Sable, the great Steve Sable, who started NFL Films, was born. He died in 2012. And then former Maverick great, y'all can't take him. I'll take him. NBA champion with the Dallas Mavericks. 1982, Tyson Chandler. Today is Tyson Chandler's birthday.
Wow. Okay.
You can have Tyson Chandler.
I mean, he was with the Rockets too. so-
Yeah, but, I mean, he won an NBA championship with the Mavericks, so there
quick
you go.
update: San Diego, St. Louis tied 0-0 in the top of the 5th inning. So winner of this moves on. Last night there were
Moves on and plays the Dodgers.
Last night there were
Yeah.
fireworks.
Yes.
Tonight 0-0 in the 5th.
It's
Yeah.
crazy how you said that about Dusty Baker and his 30th home run because that goes full circle if the Astros
Who do you got tonight? Lakers
do play them.
-9.5.
I don't know. Lauren was talking, but you totally interrupted
I
her.
know. You just kind of just.
Oh,
He didn't want to listen to a word you had to say. She was asking.
Exactly. Do you understand the words that are coming out
She
of
was
my mouth?
asking me something, and then you talked. So
My bad.
let's stop and listen to Jeff.
Joe Buck.
Yeah, don't say Joe Buck. Boy, you should have seen the look on her face when I said Joe
Dude,
Buck.
Joe Buck grows a mustache. He's in like Flynn, bro.
Oh, that's the way you get in. That's the way you make it right.
Somebody's gonna
She'd
come
be
up-
like, Joe Buck, I
Somebody-
hated you, but now I like you.
Yeah.
You got that mustache going.
Did y'all see Joe
No
Buck?
comment. No comment.
No, I'm gonna
Did
take
he
the
enter
Lakers.
the Hall of Fame like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago?
Well, no, he's got a jacket. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
He'll be in.
No?
He's inducted and he has
So
to do
I'm
the
Lauren
sorry.
says no. He can't go.
Yeah,
No, he can't.
Said,
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
Get out.
How's that sweater treating you, Jeff?
Oh, I'm sweating over here. I'm all burned up from golf.
So you asked about the Lakers
Johnny,
tonight?
we better kick ass tomorrow morning. We got golf at Wildcat tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah,
excited
you
about
told us
that.
already.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
You told us.
Great.
You told us.
It's
I
for
know.
it's
But
for
both
Auburn
of us
University.
are going to be working, and of course you're going to play golf.
Yeah.
It's Auburn.
Again.
Fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah. Again. He's gonna go play golf again.
Well,
And it'd be like, hey, so I was hitting from the tips, and everybody else was hitting from.
no.
All right, Lakers, Heat, going at it in just a couple minutes here, down to the wire. We are getting it at Christian's Tailgate. Come up here, say hello, mention Sports with Balls to the bar. You get some off your bar
10% off the tab.
So, boom, we're going to help you out there.
I want to thank Joe Applewhite, Joe Applewhite Realty, 713-259-5270, someone like that.
It's your friend.
Joe Applewhite Realty, 713.
That's your Joseph.
He's not watching. He's not watching.
It's actually
just in case anybody-
713-291-5270.
291-5270. I want to thank Joe Applewhite, him.
And,
Hey,
of
just to
course,
update the score. I just want to update the score.
Yeah, let's do
The
it.
Storm beat the Aces 93-80 in the WNBA.
I had no idea who you were
And
talking about when you mentioned this. Okay? And we got, I had no idea what.
Just thought you'd like to know.
The Hybrid Technologies
God.
Group. Reach out to Roy Stanton. That is our man.
Told
Call
you
him at
everything you need to know
830.
about the WNBA.
That was good.
That reaction.
That was good.
Yeah, it's time
I
to
didn't
go, I
even know
think.
those team names.
We got to get off the air. Thank
Hybrid
everybody.
Technologies Group. We got
What?
Toaston's Group.
Toaston's Group, yeah. Texas AV Productions.
Texas AV Production. Hybrid Technologies
Construction
Group.
Concepts.
Construction Concept.
Mark.
Joe Applewhite. We love ya.
This is Sports with Balls.
We will see y'all next
for
time.
Jeff Michael, Lauren Leo, Graham Miles.
Johnny
we
J.
out.
Peace.
My 6'4" and let the top dine. Trunk hitting hard when I swing through H-time. Cup full of oil and an orange kush sweet. Cause this is how we do it in that 713. My candy red paint cocked up on foe. Shocking and body rocking cause the south side ho. DJ Screw got me falling asleep. This is how we do it in that 713.
Welcome to